Vikendi is getting replaced permanently with Karakin. What's going on, guys? This is Riggs, and thank you so much for tuning in to this very important, this very special PUBG Mobile video. Now, this was not originally my upload that I was going to have scheduled for today, but after this absolute bombshell that PUBG dropped, and believe it or not, they dropped this news, okay? They dropped this news the same day they announced that the game has received 1 billion, right? Billion with a B, worldwide downloads. So I thought that was interesting. You got 1 billion downloads, yet you won't have a 6 map. The first thing I have to ask you guys. I already know you guys are gonna light up the comment section. What I want from you is your honest opinion. Do you think Vikendi should be replaced, right? Again, we're gonna break everything down. I'm gonna go over, you know, I'm gonna read exactly what was announced today. Maybe many of you are hearing this for the very first time, but I really want to get your guys' reaction. Whether you think the snow map, a 6x6 snow map, should be replaced by the 2x2 Karakin map. All right, so here we go, you guys. Karakin, it says, Karakin is making its way to PUBG Mobile, replacing Vikendi on April 7th. Make sure to give Vikendi some last visits before it is gone, and stay tuned for our brand new map. That's pretty much all that was said. I mean, there's a bunch of forums, a lot of people sounding off about this right now. Whether you enjoy the map or not, right? Whether you enjoy Vikendi or not, this one still kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, just because it's a core map. I mean, this is a map that has been in the game. It was the 4th map that we got. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say, I don't even know, maybe back like season 7? No, season 5? Yeah, maybe season 5, maybe season 6, somewhere around there. But it was very, very early on, you know, when they introduced the map, and feels kind of bad. And it felt even worse. It felt even worse that I could even get a match queued up in order to play it. So that was pretty sad, actually. Okay, so here we go. Many people, of course, have asked my opinion on what I think in regards to Vikendi and should it be getting replaced. One thing I'm trying to do when I answer this question, despite whether I like the map or not, right? I'm trying to take my own opinion out of it, as far as, you know, I want to do this from the outside looking in, okay? You know, despite what my actual feelings are towards the map. The only reason why this would make sense for PUBG is it would have to do with player base. That's why in the intro, I thought it was so interesting that the day they announced they have 1 billion download, again, not 1 billion active players, of course, right? Or 1 billion players, just 1 billion downloads. That, you know, it's a big difference. But as far as the only reason why it's kind of, this is actually low-key alarming to me. The only reason why they would replace Vikendi, in my opinion, it would have to do with player base. And as far as matchmaking times and how long it's taking people to queue up and get into matches. For the most part, when you're playing squads on pretty much any server, despite your tier, especially at the beginning of the season, okay? This is all going to make sense. I actually wanted to have some Vikendi gameplay for you guys. And I want to start recording just because I thought it was kind of weird. You know, usually I get a match within the first few seconds. You know, I'm still in Platinum. You know, it's only, what, the 4th day, you know, into the brand new season. And here I waited like 35, almost 45 seconds, damn near a minute to get a match. And I started thinking, this is me trying to queue up to Vikendi. It's taking me a minute to get a match. It's the beginning of the season. Everyone's low tier. And this is after the bombshell news that was dropped. I figured, look, Vikendi, they just announced that Vikendi is going bye-bye. I thought everyone and their mom would be playing on the map, but clearly that wasn't the case, you know, just based on the fact I had, you know, it wasn't an instant queue. I mean, I had to wait. So that was pretty alarming to me. That tells me that they're not there as far as player base to have 6 maps, right? Where it's going to be taking too long, it's going to be too much of a rotation. If that is in fact the case, in my humble opinion, if it has to do with lack of player base, and that's to put these maps on a rotation. Leave a like on the video if you guys think this should be a thing, or let me know in the comment section, right? Should they make it to where on certain days of the week you can only play certain maps? I mean, always have, Erangel in there, kind of have some of your core maps in there where they'll always be available, but have a rotation on Sonok, have a rotation on Miramar, maybe make it always available. Because it seems like, in my humble opinion, it seems like Erangel and ŁØBx seem to be the two hottest maps right now. Again, if they want to minimize how long it takes to get into a match, to minimize, that queue time, put them on a rotation like they have with the arcade modes or the Evo grounds. It'd be so, it's already in the game code. It would be so easy to implement, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. Maybe on the weekends, open up, so all 6 maps could be available, and that way you could have your cake and eat it too, as far as you get to keep Vikendi, you get to add Karakin, and everyone's happy. Now, out of all the maps that I think are the least played, what this tells me is it is in fact Vikendi. Now, another thing, and again, this is no direct hit to Miramar. I love Miramar just as much as anybody else does. It's a very, very popular map. But as far as layout, as far as aesthetic, as far as look, the feel, Karakin, I'm sorry, it is a smaller Miramar, right? I believe Karakin is 2x2, if I'm not mistaken. But it just doesn't make sense. And I know Miramar was the second map that was introduced to the game, and it's very, very popular. But if they're trying to bump a map out of the rotation in order to bring in Karakin, to me, something that would make sense would be Miramar. And again, I'm not dogging Miramar. I love the map. But from a logistics standpoint, I don't see why you dump the snow map in order to bring another desert map. To me, it's a smaller Miramar. Just like how a lot of people, compare ŁØBx to a smaller Erangel. Well, ŁØBx kind of, it's kind of a mixed bag of all the maps. Now, another thing that I do want to clear the air on, it was something that I tweeted earlier today, or yesterday, and that is the weapons, right? You have exclusive vehicles that you can only find on Vikendi. You also have the exclusive weapons, being the MP5K, and of course the G36C. Now, of course, I was not able to play the beta where Karakin was available, but from what I'm told, and from what people are saying, is that both of those weapons are in fact world spawns on Karakin. So if you are a G36C fan or an MP5K fan, both those weapons will be available on Karakin. And to me, it's just kind of surprising that they're going to be deleting, whether it's temporary or not, they're going to be deleting Vikendi, which is like, it's a core map, dude. Like, this is the 4th map that was introduced in the game. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say it was back like season 5. We've had Vikendi for a long time. So like I said to you guys, this was an absolute bombshell that PUBG dropped. Again, I'm just as surprised as anybody else is with this information. And I really want you guys to sound off in the comment section. What do you guys think? Is this a good move? Is this a bad move? Are you just as surprised as I am that they announced this the same day they announced that they've had 1 billion downloads? Also, could probably be possibly be a factor is the actual game size itself, and maybe possibly trying to minimize that. You guys have to understand, not everybody plays this game on the newest and the best smartphone. PUBG Mobile is being played on devices, all over the world. Devices many of you probably haven't even heard of, like what some of these devices are. Like, they're not even available where you are. And so trying to make the game still small enough to where it's downloadable for like a 2 GB RAM phone, for example. But is appeasing that crowd the best move for the game to delete a map, which is going to take a big hit on the player base. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sound off in the comment section. Was this a good move? Was this a bad move? And whether you agree with this move or not, don't take it out on my video. Make sure you guys drop a like. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. But until the very next one, this has been Riggs from ŁØBx Gaming.